Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome to week 5 of our English 101 class. You made it 5 weeks in. It's the first day of May. Happy May Day. Hopefully you guys have a good one. This weekend was amazing, and now it's kind of rainy and cold. So it's spring. It's doing its thing. Well, I'm excited to read your Project 1 Murder on the Orient Express Compare and Contrast Essay Revised drafts that you turned in. Typically takes me between 7 to 10 business days to get those back to you. I will get them back before you submit Project 2 so that you can use the feedback from Project 1 to inform your decisions made for Project 2. So that's good. Really excited to read those. You completed 1/3 of the major work in this class. So congratulations, pat on the back, round of applause, all that good stuff. Bask in the brilliance that is you for a minute. Bask. And then we're moving on because time waits for no man or a woman, and we have to keep chugging along in this class as well. So we finished Project 1. Hooray! We have 3 projects in this class. You're 1/3 of the way through. Congratulations. Now we're moving on to Project 2, and something I want to call your attention to as we begin this project is that the timeline on this essay is much quicker than the timeline on Project 1. Project 1, we really slowed down. We took our time. We had 4 whole weeks that we worked on this, right? So we read the book, we talked about ideas in the discussion boards, we did thesis statements and outlines, we did 2 rounds of peer review. We did a lot of steps in the process to write the first essay. And that was done very intentionally because for some of us, it's been a long time since we've written an academic essay, or the structure of the academic essays we've written in the past, whether it be high school or somewhere else, varied wildly from the current academic structure. And so this was a chance for us to slow down and really dig in and learn these concepts. Now that we're moving into Project 2, the pace picks up. And this is for a couple reasons. But the primary one is that in many classes you'll find yourself in, you don't have a month to write an essay. You have a much shorter period of time to write the essay. And so I want to make sure that I'm equipping you to write not only in that long, methodical way, but also to write in a much more accelerated way. Back in the Stone Ages, when I went to CBC as a Running Start student, a long time ago, there was a history teacher at CBC who required an essay every Friday. You had an essay every single week and it had to be 2 to 3 pages long on a topic from a prompt, had to include sources. It was a lot of writing to do every single week. It was due every Friday. That teacher is still here. I don't know if he still does this assignment, so I'm not going to say names just in case. But I didn't have a month to write each of those essays, right? I had a week, which was felt very fast at the time. I was still like proxy stressed from it, apparently. It felt like a really accelerated timeline. So if you find yourself in a class like that, I want to make sure that you have the skills to write in this speedier fashion as opposed to taking a whole month to create 3 pages instead of a week, right? Because you never know what your upcoming classes are going to throw your way. You never know in the workplace after you leave CBC, you may be asked to write a report. You may be asked to write a letter dealing with a customer complaint issue. You may be asked to do a whole bunch of things in very short windows of time. I worked as an editor for an engineering firm for a while, and I will tell you from personal experience, I got asked to write a lot of stuff with very little time to prepare. Sometimes I had to pull all-nighters for work, which feels like I shouldn't have to do that anymore because that's like a school thing, but like you got to do what you got to do sometimes to meet the deadlines. So all that to say, I want to make sure I equip you with those skills so that when you find yourself in that situation, you're like, oh yeah, remember that one time in English 101 where she made us write an essay in 2 weeks? That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to give you those skills so that you can write in a quick fashion and that you get some practice doing it. So this assignment does have a faster timeline than Project 1. We're going to slow down again in Project 3 because it's much more research-based, and I want to make sure you have lots of time to gather that research. But in Project 2, we're going to practice this quicker form of writing. So you're jumping right into Project 2 already today by watching the PowerPoint frame Justice. It's in the Project 2 folder. I'll show you in a minute. Then we're going to talk a little bit about the idea of trial by media, and you're going to answer some discussion questions. Then you're viewing the prompt. Yes, already you're viewing the prompt for Project 2. Make sure that you watch this video. If you watch no other videos, watch This one, it is so important. Watch it, please. My dog also thinks it's very important. If you could hear him whining in the background, that is also him begging you to watch this video. It's very important. Also, he thinks little scritches on his ears are very important too right now. So his priorities are in the right place. Then you are going to tell me about what cases you are considering writing about for your essay. You have a case list. You must pick one of the cases from that list. And then you are going to tell me which 2 cases you're most interested in. You're going to winnow that down to 1 case for the essay, but in this discussion board, you're going to pick 2 cases to tell me about which ones you think you might want to write on. Then you're going to be working on your outline and your thesis statement already. Yes, this is going to happen fast. So plan your time wisely and well. I've got it chunked out for you in the calendar so you can see how you need to budget your time in this class, as well as work, as well as other school assignments, as well as family things. Use this calendar to help organize you so that you make sure you're saving yourself enough time to be successful. Work on the essay over the weekend. We're going to talk about logical fallacies next week. You're going to be writing your essay, and then we're doing our first peer review on Wednesday. So you need to have the full essay by Wednesday the 10th. So plan your time out. If you know you're going to be busy these days, start writing the essay on Saturday, right? Like plan your time out so you can use it well. In fact, if you want to work on your thesis statement and outline, write your intro paragraph on Saturday, write your first 2 body paragraphs on Sunday, write a paragraph Monday and Tuesday, and by the time you get to Wednesday, you'll have an essay, right? So split it out, manage your time well so that you can stay on top of things. We'll have our second peer review on Friday, and the Project 2 essay is due on the 15th. It's coming fast, so make sure you are budgeting that time really well. I will show you where all our great resources are in our modules tab. Just like with Project 1, our modules tab has everything you need to be successful. Please make sure you're watching those videos. More than one person reached out right before Project 1 was due and said, so does the essay have to be on any particular topic? And emails like that make me very scared for you because yes, of course the essay has to be on a particular topic. We have all these videos that tell you exactly what that topic is, exactly how to do the outline and thesis statement. I walk you through the process step by little baby steps so that you can be successful. But those videos can't help you if you don't watch them, right? And I know I'm talking to the choir here. I'm preaching to the choir because the folks who are watching the weekly overview videos are probably also the folks who are watching the recorded lectures. The people who need to hear this lecture are not watching this video. They're just doing their own thing. And I wish them all the success in the world, but through my last 15 years of teaching, people who do not watch the videos are not successful in this class. So kudos to you for watching the videos. Bravo. I also have software that lets me see who's watching the videos, so I know who you are. Good job for watching the videos. Thank you. And conversely, I also know who you are who aren't watching the videos. Watch them. It's my angry old lady face. Does that work? There we go. So for Project 2, here is our frame justice PowerPoint. This is going to orient you to the ideas behind Project 2. The ideas, and here's a recorded lecture. PowerPoint lets you go through it slowly on your own time. Recorded lecture lets you hear my awesome words the whole time. Recorded lecture will tell you all about this idea of trial by media, how as American citizens we have the right to the 6th Amendment, which says we get a fair and impartial jury. Which is good, yay, because you want that. But how is that possible in this new era of 24-hour news cycles, of Twitter and Instagram and Facebook to some extent, of TikTok videos that give you information all the time, and then the judge tries to find an impartial jury pool, and if a case is high profile enough, how do you find someone who hasn't already been inundated by a bunch of ideas and information about the case? It'd be very difficult. If we think back to the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, everybody knew everything about everyone's dirty laundry in that case before it even came to trial. Like there was a newspaper article about how Amber Heard pooped on Johnny Depp's pillow that came out before the trial even happened. And I'm like, if I'm sitting there, I'm like, this woman pooped on his pillow. Maybe she's unhinged. Like I would not be an impartial juror. But also, I've seen Johnny Depp's movies, and I'm like, he's probably unhinged too, like maybe a little loco in the cabeza. So, who knows? I would have a lot of feelings and ideas before I even got picked to be a juror, which could be problematic in terms of the 6th Amendment. So check out that recorded lecture where we talk about those ideas in a lot of depth and talk about a lot of examples. And then next week, we're going to be looking at the logical fallacies, how people talk about things in ways that maybe aren't true or accurate, and how that can be problematic. And here's the trial by media topic idea list. You must pick one of the cases off of this list for project 2. Must be one of these cases. So pick one off of this list. And I talk about the list in the videos. Here's the supporting materials. Here's the article you're going to be responding to this week, How Trial by Media Can Undermine the Courtroom. I also have some other interesting articles. There's the Innocence Project that goes into jails and finds people who didn't get a fair trial and tries to give them one. And then I've got some alternative sources. This one says that pretrial publicity doesn't really affect cases. And this one said not only is the Sixth Amendment betrayed, but sometimes the First Amendment has some issues. So you could talk about either of these as additional support in your case if you wanted to. And then here's all the essay resources. Here's the lecture video on research, outline, and thesis worksheets. Watch this week before you write your thesis worksheet, and before you write your outline, watch this video. So watch this video on Wednesday or Thursday. Please watch it. If you watch no other videos this week, please, please, please watch this video. Please watch it. Here's how to use the library databases. You do have to have research for this essay. You do have to use sources from the CBC library databases. This video will show you how to find them. And it's very important to watch this one because the CBC library databases do not work like Google. You cannot type in a whole phrase. You cannot type in a question. You have to use special, specific keywords to find the sources you're looking for. So watch this video to figure out how to do that. Here's the prompt itself. Here's the outline. Use it. Use it. Do it. Here's the thesis worksheet. Here's the rubric, how I'm going to be grading it. Here's some signal phrases for how to use quotes, paraphrases, and summaries. This will be very helpful as I'm glancing through Project 1 essays. We kind of get repetitive in how we use our source material. This website will help you not be repetitive. It will help you vary your sources. And then finally, I have sample essays here because this essay is a much faster timeline. These sample essays can help show you how people have successfully completed this assignment in the past. These essays are not perfect. They're A and B level essays. They're not perfect because no writing is perfect. There's always room for improvement. But they're pretty good reflections on what I'm going to be looking for. So check those out before you begin your own writing. And then you should be good to go. Really, honestly, if you watch the recorded lecture on frame justice, you watch the recorded lecture on the research outline and thesis statement, and you watch the recorded lecture on the CBC databases, read through these essays, pick a case from the list, and everything will be golden. And I'm so excited to see how your ideas come together. As always, if you have any questions, reach out. I'm here to help. Otherwise, start thinking about the cases, watch those recorded lectures, and I'm excited to see what you come up with.